Well, it's good to see everyone out there, and we're back in the library again. I guess mostly because we're running out of new places to go. We've been almost every place in the church, and it's a little bit hot to go up on the roof. That was my first choice. We have a new set of stairs up there that I've been wanting to show you. But it's nice and cool here in the library, and I want to share with you a part of the Bible that has raised a lot of controversy. And there are many people who criticize the Bible for saying there are all kinds of contradictions. And when somebody tells me that, I ask them to give me an example of a contradiction. And usually the answer I get is, well, there's just so many, and they can't even give me one. But one of those is the whole question of how do works fit into salvation? There are verses in the Bible, and I'll read one to you now. This is from Ephesians chapter 2, Paul's letter. Starts with the 8th verse, and it says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not as a result of works, that no one should boast." Well, if we turn to the Epistle of James, Jesus' brother, in his writing, I won't turn there to read it, but basically he says that faith without works are dead. So we're saved by faith, not by works, and yet faith without works is dead. Well, I think the next verse in Ephesians, the 10th verse in chapter 2, helps to explain this. "For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in him." So when he says we are created, of course, he's talking about that born-again experience, that time when we come to know Christ. Being saved, he said, through faith. And that salvation does not come by works. But once we are saved, works come because we are his creation, because we have been recreated in Christ. And yet, for all of us, we find this is not always easy. Good works are sometimes difficult. And even though it's God's plan that good works come out of our salvation, sometimes in the machinery of life, a little bit of sand gets in there and makes it hard to work. And I've always identified 5 pieces of sand, 5 handfuls of sand that can get into the plan of life. And that's fear, doubt, worry, shame, and guilt. Those have a tendency to slow down the gears of God's plan in our life. But I have some good news for you. There's oil that can be added to the machinery life of our machinery in life as well. And that oil, there's 5 different kinds of oil we can add to the machine for the plan to work. And that's faith, hope, love, peace, and joy. So don't let anybody confuse you about the position of works. We can't get saved by doing works, but once we are saved, we do works because Christ is the one working through us and in us. And let's all work hard to get rid of the sand out of the machinery and oil it so that it runs smoothly, that all of us can do the works that it says here in Ephesians we were created for in Christ Jesus. Happy oiling.